Hi everyone, welcome to a new 10 Taco video. Today's topic is Top 10 Anti-Heroes. There are quite a few interpretations of what an anti-hero can be, but I'm defining it as good guys who act according to their own goals and interests, even if it means doing it through an unusual or criminal way. For these top 10, I won't list any characters already featured in the top 10 main characters. As you know, here are a couple of rules for this video. I can only consider characters from anime I watched and only one entry per franchise. Watch out for spoilers, they might reveal details that will ruin plot twists. Number 10. Gadgil Red Fox, Fairy Tail. Gadgil is a wizard known as a Dragon Slayer with the power to eat and transform into iron. Originally he is featured in the show as a villain to Fairy Tail, but through the story development he later becomes an ally and part of the guild. He is presented as a cold-hearted bastard who wants nothing more than fight and prove he is the strongest. He is found many times training alone and away from everyone else, but in the end he is alongside his friends fighting the hard battle and winning one for the team. Number 9. Claire Stanfield, Bacano. Claire Stanfield, aka Vino or Rail Tracer, is actually hard to define whether he is a hero or a villain. Born as Claire, he is adopted by a mafia family and becomes a legendary freelancer assassin under the name Vino. To cover his tracks, he disguises himself as a young train conductor, with a happy-go-lucky personality that everyone loves. But it so happens that his train is hijacked, and so he decides to deal with the hijackers and ensure the passengers' safety. And so begins the story of the psychopath Rail Tracer, who kills and mutilates mostly every villain in the show. Despite his violent behavior, he truly ends up saving the day and making his own justice, and that earns him the right to be an anti-hero. Number 8. Nicholas Wolfwood Trigun. Wolfwood is one of the most impressive characters in Trigun. He is presented as a priest, however he spent great part of his life training to be an assassin in the chapel he was raised on. Now as an adult, he is able to kill without remorse with the sole purpose of making money to support the child's orphanage he runs. Can you see the irony here? To aggravate that, he actually wields a giant weapon in form of a Christian cross. Despite his paradoxes and being an unorthodox priest, the fact is that Wolfwood ends up saving innocent lives and fighting for the good side. Number 7. Mugen, Samurai Champloo. Mugen is a wandering vagabond who is one of the 3 main characters of the show. Fond of fighting and with the tendency to pick fights for petty reasons, he is also one of the most unorthodox swordsmen in anime. His wild dog attitude and his fighting style that mixes swordplay and martial arts on the go makes him unpredictable to his enemies, and it's wonderful to watch. He's not much of a do-gooder hero and acts mostly for his self-interest, but he still ends up saving the day in his travels with this newfound companion. Number 6. Alucard, Hellsing. Alucard is the most powerful and dangerous vampire in the whole anime universe. Although his looks change throughout time, he is characterized by his bright red eyes and long dark hair, and his most famous attire is the red jacket and hat. As a vampire, he possesses a vast range of supernatural techniques, such as shape-shifting and immortality, and he is an expert gunfighter. Alucard is extremely cocky and fights with extreme ferocity and cruelty, often torturing and debilitating his victims to humiliate them. Despite all that, he still has some humanity left in him and works for the Hellsing organization, fighting other vampires and natural forces, making him somewhat one of the good guys. Number 5. Greed, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Greed is one of the 7 homunculus in the show, called Ultimate Shield because he can make his skin hard as diamond. As his name implies, he is very greedy and loves to live in luxury, surrounded by riches and women. Originally featured as a villain with his own gang, he ends up captured and forcibly reincarnated as a human-based homunculus, using the body of the Chinggese prince. In either of his incarnations, he keeps the same personality and powers, changing only his appearance and memories. Despite all his fighting for self-interest, we see how he comes to understand his wrongdoings and values his comrades, ending up fighting alongside the heroes in order to save the day. Number 4. Bun, the 7 Deadly Sins. Similar to the previous entry, Ban represents the sin of greed. As such, he is arrogant and selfish, acting mostly on self-interest and curiosity rather than doing what is right. He is known to go against his own comrades, even trying to kill them if that means achieving his goals. Before joining the almighty 7 deadly sins, Ban was a simple wandering bandit. During his travels, he ended up finding the Fountain of Youth, which granted him immortality. What I love most about his character, besides his personality, is the fact that he has an ability that makes perfect fit: Snatch. This ability enables him to rob other people's powers for himself for a short period of time. Although he is the wild card in his team, he ends up saving the day as much as all the rest. Number 3. Vegeta, Dragon Ball Z. You were expecting this one from the beginning, weren't you? Vegeta is the prince of the fallen Saiyan race, an arch-rival of Goku. Originally he is a villain that wants to destroy Earth, but eventually he ends up joining our heroes and saving the planet from different enemies. As you might know, Vegeta is extremely proud and egotistical, that strives on becoming the strongest fighter in the universe and surpass Goku. His fighting style is usually more aggressive and he hardly hesitates in eliminating any threat to him, by giving them the final blow when no one else has the guts to do it. He's just that guy who doesn't take shit from anyone, and is not afraid to show it. Despite not being my number 1, he's probably the character that better fits the concept of anti-hero in this entire list. Number 2. Uchiha Itachi, Naruto Shippuden. Itachi is one of the coolest characters in Naruto, always evolving throughout the development of the story. Itachi was a prodigy from Konoha, who harnessed the power of Sharingan, an ocular ability limited to his bloodline. He is very quiet and insightful, and mostly wants to observe individuals without getting much involved unless necessary. The character is originally presented as an outlaw that joined the criminal organization Akatsuki after murdering his entire clan and leaving only his brother alive. The problem is that throughout the story there is something odd in his behavior as a villain. He actually seems to be motivating the heroes on becoming stronger and guiding them through the right path. By the later chapters, we learn that he actually is an ally in disguise, but he doesn't quite fit the hero stereotype because he is willing to do whatever it takes to fulfill his goals, even if that means killing the innocent, torturing allies, or joining evil organizations. Number 1. Zaraki Kenpachi, Bleach. Zaraki is one of my favorite characters, despite not being as developed in the show as the other characters in this list. Kenpachi was a wanderer that lived for battle and enjoys it more than anything. Thanks to his incredible power and brutality, he is able to rise to a position of captain in the Soul Society and leads the most powerful squad there is. And he managed this using only his brute strength and without any sword special power, which is usually a requirement for his position. Zaraki is a wild and scary dude, and for him the definition of an ally or an enemy are separated by a thin line, since he is willing to fight anyone to death in a split second. What makes him ruthless is his philosophy that injury and death are the price for a good fight, which means in most battles he puts himself in fatal situations in order to surprise and shred his opponents without regard for his own life. Despite all this, Zaraki is always the one that ends up saving the day, when everyone else is desperate. This finishes my top 10 anti-heroes in anime. Do you agree with this list, or would you change any of the entries? Please comment below, and if you want to keep getting more videos like this, then simply click subscribe. Thanks for watching.